Welcome to the AOE Podcast. As always, this is the Wolf, and with me today, who I got? I got the birthday boy with me. What's up?
What's up?
Okay. How you feel, bro? Happy birthday.
I feel pretty good.
You feel pretty good? How old are you now?
24.
You feel any different?
Such a baby.
I feel still weak.
How you gonna say he's such a baby?
He is a baby.
You act like you so much older than
I
him.
am.
No,
I
you're
am.
not. No, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She feels that way because her glasses 75.
Yeah. And Ty, hi.
Anti.
Oh no, it should never be an and. What?
That's what you focused on, not the fact that when she said it, it sounded like hentai high.
Not hentai.
I didn't think about it until you said
Really?
it.
That's literally what it sounded like.
It really sounded. Anyway,
It
Ty,
sounded
there's
like
nothing
hentai.
else with it.
Because you said
It's not
anti.
it. But
Say
you
anti
didn't hear
real
no
fast.
H.
No, but say anti real fast when you say glass full of alcohol. The H automatically comes up.
Let's not.
Anyway,
If you're looking, no, just kidding. If you're looking for a special, no, just kidding.
I'm Decimo Primo.
Alright, so let's get on into it. Alright, so first things first, this ain't nothing new. Ubisoft, pretty much they just did an internal survey and found that it's still an issue.
What's still an issue?
Pretty much the misconduct in the workplace. So pretty much, this Ubisoft CEO, I can't even say his name. I'll be honest.
Is it something foreign?
Yes, Gulimat. I'm gonna edit that out.
Anyway, an employee.
Well, we defended how
Updated his employees about a recent company-wide survey regarding the status of reforms following a summer of complaints about harassment, misconduct, and other systematic issues. So pretty much, when it comes to Ubisoft, we know that they, in the past, been in trouble for sexual harassment and stuff like that, and some of their hiring
Caught
practices.
with their pants down. Go ahead.
Oh boy.
I don't know if anybody was caught with their pants down. It was just, what, did they get caught doing it?
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'd be impressed if that happened more than once too.
I would not. How are you impressed by that?
It's supposed to be a disappointment.
Fool, like
You're
what?
supposed to do better.
No. I would be.
That's what the survey is about.
I'm impressed in the sense that it happened more than once. If it happens exactly as just described, as she described, in the same company, and nothing was done, I'd be impressed then.
Balls.
What?
I don't know.
You act like it's one person. You're like, hey, you one sexual deviant, or you one individual who's harassing the rest of the group. Stop it. Stop it. You random one individual.
If it was just one
Of
individual,
a whole company?
mind blown. My mind would be blown right now. You see like little fireworks coming off the top right now. It was just one person.
Oh boy.
Even that would take me.
I'm done. I was literally trying to make the point.
No,
he jumped on the point with me and then tried to act like we were against another individual
I was hoping
who
he
wasn't
gonna
him.
bell,
No.
and like lets you bail him out, but like no.
I gave like a 5-second pause, but since I am just with this, how about punishment for these individuals? Has Ubisoft sought any sort of legal counsel about this? Somebody's got to be going after them.
Bruh,
What?
do you know? Like literally, what he just read was you've worked for large companies before, right?
Yes.
You get a survey at the end of every year for these large companies. So a scandal happened. They got found out.
Yes.
So what happened is they then send out a survey because they got involved in a scandal. They sent out this survey to all their employees and they say, hey, based off the last 3 months of reevaluation or however long it's been,
Have we made changes?
have we implemented the correct changes? And what their scores were is they were all still low, showing that they still need improvement. That doesn't mean that currently there's tons of scandals going on. That just means they're still cleaning up a mess and they didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
It's like the oil spill that happened with BP in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You cleaned up a little bit, but you didn't get the rest of it. So you got to keep working.
Yep.
The fact that it was 3 months ago, you know.
I don't know if it was 3 months ago.
But
I'm just throwing out months.
Time frame.
We don't know.
We don't know.
Do you know the time frame?
That's
3
what
months
I'm
is
saying.
also not that long. Think about it. In a multi-million-dollar corporation, 3 months is not a long time.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Especially when you have that many employees.
Back to Ubisoft. Do y'all feel like, representation in, as far as diversity and women, is getting better in the gaming industry?
I think by now it has to, because there are at least a couple, like by name I could probably think of a few who are a couple game companies who are not, they're not AAA companies, they're not an EA, they're not a Ubisoft, but they're out there that are primarily owned by people who either look like us or don't look like us, but they are not Caucasian.
I mean, what?
So it's getting a little better.
Why we have this comment like look like us? Like you making all black people sound like they look the same. No, I'm just saying. Like
Everybody in this room is either lighter than me or darker than me, so I included the us. I was being inclusive.
what? Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
No,
Very politically
that is not my. No, you're being inclusive in a uniform look.
What? Why is that bad?
Look, bro. Well, you know what? You know what? Some people hear whenever they hear that, they hear, you know what? Jacob had no right telling me that I saw him that he wasn't the one I saw at the store, and that I must think all black people look the same. Because when you say look like us, that must mean you think that we all look alike too.
Totally bad. Zero.
See? No, but am I right? There's people who think that.
That is true.
Don't say that.
Yeah, we live in a crazy world.
We'll change topic. Right. PC gaming, hackers. There's hackers in mobile games. There are hackers in a lot of different games.
There's hackers in Among Us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah, I've seen the ones in Among Us. That was
So yeah, so popular game, Among Us.
Love it.
Play it, but sometimes it's ruined by hackers.
You mean like that time when they you get right out of getting ready to vote somebody, and as soon as they get out of that screen, you notice that half people on one side of the table are dead, and they just walk around to you and they're still killing, but you could have sworn you put that kill cooldown on 30 seconds?
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
All I can say is it was bound to happen anyway. You already know that.
But
Hang on. So just because something was bound to happen, does that mean you should do nothing in order to stop it?
No, that means the people that
Depends
created
on how
it
bad
should
it
have
is.
found a way to protect them.
Or does it mean that they're just going to have to do it, update it in patch notes?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. They should have been prepared.
I'm done. You literally I'm done. Take a shot for flip flop. Take a shot for flip flop. Take a shot for flip flop. You did. No, you said. Hang on.
They
Did she not
should have
say?
been
She said no,
prepared
no.
for it.
You said it was bound to happen.
Yes, it
That's
was
how you
bound
started.
to happen.
Right, but then you said they should be prepared for it. That's
They
two
should
opposite
have been
sides.
prepared for that.
That's two opposite sides.
No,
Yeah, it
if
is.
you know that this might be potentially a problem,
Right.
you should be prepared for that.
Maybe they were, and maybe they already made patch notes for certain hacks,
I'll
but then
take
they
my
created
shot
other
because
ones.
there's-
as a player, is there anything that you can do to prepare for a hacker or
Okay, part of my shot.
Like-
Yes. Yes and no. I've seen this for a lot longer than most people have. I honestly don't know how old you are. You're sitting here watching this. If you're younger than 15, congratulations. Anyways, since I've seen this for a while longer, there's things there's things the developers can do. There's things that you, the player, can do.
Oh well, don't.
No.
Tell us.
I'm going into it. This is my segue. It's my breakdown.
Okay.
As far as developers go, at least in the games from back in the good old days, you have ways of just straight up removing people from games. Even when there weren't as many games, you could either eject somebody from the game. You can vote them out.
Eject me from the game.
Yes.
I'm gonna come back and just name myself. I'll be player. Then I'll be player number 1. Then I'll be player number 2. Then I'll keep going.
This goes back to the
You keep
Grand
getting
Theft Auto
booted.
days.
Yeah, and I just keep coding back.
You can get your
They're
IP
all
address.
gonna happen.
The words IP address banned.
Cool, and then I can just change my IP address.
How you gonna change your IP address?
Get a new
Bruh,
IP
if I
address.
literally call Comcast and have them refresh my network,
Yeah,
my network technically has a different IP address.
No, you could do that.
That's a lot of work, but yes.
I don't know. That hasn't worked for Blizzard. That's been Blizzard found the workaround for that. That
Well,
doesn't work anymore.
That's because they block out a certain number of IP address. Because your IP address, every time it gets refreshed, technically your IP address changes by just like a few numbers.
Yeah,
It has a certain range.
Yeah, it has a certain range. So Blizzard must be blocking based off a certain regiment. But what they can do is they can they can track your IP address back to the unit in which you're using and
And
block
take,
that
and,
unit,
yeah, take the device.
which is what I
Yes.
believe Blizzard actually does.
Yes.
Well, as a player, one thing, like, even on Among Us, that's why, you can do the private matches or whatever in order to kind of prevent, like, your game from being messed up by randoms or hackers or whatever.
But here's my question,
Okay.
because this just doesn't make sense to me.
All right.
Who sits there and has that much time to hack again?
You're a troll. No, like literally, like if you're hacking in a game like Among Us, right? Which the whole purpose is to find out who the killer is. And typically the person who's hacking is the killer. And you're trying to hack to win. You're literally cheating at the game. So you're a troll. Because you're not even cheating for like any type of power-ups or any type of beneficiaries. Like you're not cheating with even a slight purpose. Because at the end of the game, it just resets and you do the whole crap all over again.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But it's like the same, like, I don't know about y'all, but
There's some minor stat tracking in there, but who's really going to look for that?
I mean, they're looking for the win.
What is there? Is there
period.
professional
That's probably
Among Us
what it
players
is.
now?
There's
Is there a professional league that came out yesterday that I didn't know about?
If
Nah.
you go under your own account settings, shows games won, people killed, games lost, and that's about it. That's all there is for stat tracking.
Right, no, but I'm asking, is there some
Well,
type of purpose
yeah, why
in
would
Among
that-
Us?
why
Like,
would
did the
that matter?
creators of Among Us say that I'm going to give $1 million to the
No,
person?
no.
Oh, so there's
trolls.
no beneficiary other than just being a troll.
Yes,
Okay, so my point is just you're a dick.
basically.
Oh.
Can't say you're wrong.
okay, but how do you feel about, like, hackers in the other games? Like,
If it comes to hacking in other games, personally, it just rolls off me like water at this point. I've seen it in shooters. I've seen it in my RTS. I've seen it in MMOs.
okay, let's
If-
go
if it-
about
if it goes something I
trolls.
can't
Is there
figure
ever a reason to troll? Like, what
Well,
about
if you're
those
stuck under a bridge and you have nowhere to live?
whatever. In some games, like, I play Smite a lot. Some people freaking, you do something wrong. You disappoint them. So, okay, then I'm just gonna troll now. I'm gonna troll out. And they'll start the game and say, y'all better be good. You better play it right. I'm a troll. And then the whole match, they'll just be spinning in a circle.
That's what you worried about? Bro, I play Arena of Valor, and people be hating on me when I play Arena of Valor. They're like, report this character. And then, like, literally, the other half of the team is like, why? And they're like, they died.
I hate Foster
Okay, but
Are
that
you
could be
serious?
Overwatch, and they're
What-
just like, I'm just not gonna heal anybody. Okay.
No,
So-
but like, no, but that's like my other problem. I died because I dove in and you ain't follow. I wouldn't have died if you followed,
Where's
or I
my
wouldn't have died if
backup?
you healed.
Where's my backup?
Well, no, see, here's the thing. For things like that, there's a special category because just like with Smite, probably for Arena of Valor, and definitely with League of Legends, they had to come with a whole different section of reporting. It's just considered feeding.
No, absolutely,
Intentionally poor
right?
behavior,
But yeah,
and so
but
on.
here's the other thing, though. Do you think they actually review the entire 30 minutes of?
No, they don't. We know
No,
they don't.
they just approve the report if enough people report it.
Yeah.
Right. So if they successfully get everyone on your team to say, "Hey, we're going to report this one person," guess what?
Everybody
That
on both
report's going to
teams.
be valid.
Everybody on both teams.
No, you
automatically
don't need
suspended.
both teams. You just need enough people on the team in which you're playing with to report you.
Okay,
You could, the four of us here could literally be like, Jarrell, you're doing everything wrong right now. And you could literally be sitting there doing nothing. But because the majority of us said so, you're messed up.
Yep.
So that's how come the system is the way it is. That's how come you start with 100% credibility score, and every report only takes 10 points, and it's only valid for a certain amount of days. Because they know it's a flawed system.
While we're on this subject, this month is anti-bullying month, or
for real?
bully prevention month. So, I do want to put it that caveat is bullying is never a good thing, and the main thing that we can do to stop bullying is report it, whether it's online or offline.
Well, here's my question. Okay, because here's the thing. I'm not in. I know a lot of times, and sorry for interrupting.
No.
But I know a lot of things with bullying, and I know a huge frame where this started was it started in schools. I know it emitted massively online, especially with gamers and stuff like that, and reporting it. And I completely see how reporting it in gaming and everything else like that makes sense, because typically those are through chats and all this other kind of stuff. So there's like administrative material, and you can get like that IP address or player and so on and so forth banned, as we've already discussed.
Yep.
Right.
But like when it comes to more like, because there's anonymous bullying reporting, and that's like something in which I know they have in schools. And granted, like I said, I haven't been in school for a while, so my thing's off. But like when I was in school, when you had a bully, you never reported it.
No.
And the reason you never reported it is because the way the school system actually handled that situation is very poor. So yeah, your bully may get suspended for like 3 days or whatever, but then you're a snitch. Yeah.
I mean, things have gotten better since then.
Okay.
And now,
because I'm not, like I said, I'm not in that environment. So, you know,
now,
just trying to get
so I would like even like the gaming, or like, honestly, I would like the gaming industry to take some of the lessons that, you know, from the schools. So some of the things that the schools have done to kind of tackle bullying or whatever, not only have they tackled it from software standpoint on, you know, in schools, when, you know, policies, whenever there's any type of instance of bullying, you know, they encourage like a teacher or somebody to report it, or report it to a teacher, and then they'll handle it, you know, kind of, and get like the principal or administrator involved. And then they even have software online now to track like social media on some of like the comments and behavior that stuff people are posting.
So
I
what
think
you're telling me is they're tracking the kids outside the school now.
Yes.
Well,
And-
Okay.
Well, and especially in some of like the feedback.
I can see how that could change some things.
Yes, I would like to see that actually implemented. And I know it's kind of seems like
What,
it's 2 months.
Has some people found your real name online and started bullying you, bro?
No. But it's a serious issue though.
No, it is. That's why I'm asking.
But like, because when you go into like, it's hard being accepted into a community, like especially like when you're joining like a new forum or a Discord.
It's hard to join anything that's new, because
Yeah.
you have people who have already created an infrastructure of support, and you're someone new to that environment.
Yeah,
It doesn't always mesh, and it doesn't always flow the way you want.
and I just think that like, while we're on this improving the gaming industry era, like, and the gaming industry is like changing rapidly.
It is.
I would like to see more tools and software in order to combat like that.
I would just like better follow up.
Yeah, that too.
Like, let's be real. Like, I feel like the gaming industry has done a lot in order for people to be able to report bullying and all different other types of things. I just think their follow through isn't all the way there yet. I think the follow through is very much like a slap on the wrist whenever it comes to bullying, especially in a lot of situations and in time periods. They just don't. And like when it comes to like groups and organizations, I think certain ones may not take bullying to the fullest extent that they need to.
Well, when you say that, what do you mean? Because
what I mean is,
if someone in a professional sense, there's only so much they're legally allowed to do, such as just take all your shit.
No, but the thing is, as far as a professional stance, at the end of the day, there's an agreement that you sign with each game that you start up. And
Sure.
with each one of those, you have to abide by their rules and regulations. And at any moment in time, based off that format in which you just signed, the creator of that game can just ban you from the game.
I'll tell you one
That's
thing
true.
in particular.
Like, for instance, you had a game that you got completely banned for.
Yeah. I got banned completely on Marvel Heroes.
Yeah,
and I was trying
to
to prevent a hack. I was trying to tell people, hey, no, don't do this hack, and they banned me because.
Well, he reported it on a public forum.
Yeah. So
that's why they banned him. Don't get me wrong. Was the ban justified? Slightly,
Yeah.
because he posted on a public forum.
I was trying to help.
If you had typed that on a support ticket, nobody would have said shit.
Nobody would have said anything. Right?
My whole thing is that like,
but because you can do that for those reasons, and I'm just saying that's literally in the statement of several games, especially ones that are primarily online and involve a huge like social presence.
and while it's So these are one of the features that I like about Xbox. So people want to know why I like Xbox so much. It's this it's just a feature that I would like to see implemented across the board.
You gotta take a shot.
I was just like,
I'm not gonna make it.
I would just like to see it implemented across the board. Like, so one of the things when you report a player on Xbox or whatever, I noticed that like on games like Warzone. Or even I play Smite a lot. When you do report players like directly on the Xbox, you tend not to get matched up with those players anymore, and they keep you away from those players. I like that, especially because a player shouldn't be able to ruin your gamer experience or the play experience of that game. To me,
you're right.
While playing those same games on PlayStation, you're telling me that they allow you to play with the same character?
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know yet.
Because you don't often. Okay.
I don't often play.
I'm
not saying the feature's not there.
I don't want to necessarily say the credit directly towards Xbox. It may be the creators of the game.
Yeah, it might
that have that in there, or it could also be that there's just so many people playing those games that it just takes a while to get paired up with people.
But no, that's just something that I would like to see across the board of how we can kind of create a better environment, for all gamers or whatever. As I hope game developers kind of keep that in mind or whatever ways that they can tackle bullying or because a game is pretty much an individual, like an online game is an individual community. Whatever it is, and
you're right.
That's half of what makes you want to play a game.
Part of me wonders if they would ever implement something like a lot of companies do. Whenever somebody has like a certain amount of reports or something like that towards like one specific thing, then they have to like you remember like they used to make people go through like HR trainings all over again. Like if they had and like if it was like sexual harassment or racism or like religious discrimination or something like that, then they have to go through like a certain amount of time period where they go through HR and they like check in with them
6
and
weeks
or
or
they need to go through a training course, So like the thing is, what if they had like a little gamer, like a little gamer thing that happened, where if you got reported so many times for like
misconduct
or like misconduct, or like let's say you got. Even if it's something like for instance, Arena of Valor, you got like several reports for feeding, or Smite, you got several reports for feeding. Then you had to go through like a little training video, and the training video was like, this is what feeding is. And it explains what feeding is.
Oh, actually, no.
What you're doing, and then do that.
You saw? Somebody does do that. Riot Games, for their latest game, Valorant, during the closed beta, open beta, and now into release, they've done that for some of their worst cases. They'll suspend or permanently ban a player's account, usually based on offenses of either cheating or harassing other players specifically.
That's not what I said, though. I
But
didn't say suspend or ban. I said the video. Does it have the video?
Do they have a training?
They have to retrain themselves by watching video showing how to be a better player, and then they have to write a report on how they're going to do better.
They really have to write a report?
They have to write it, send it back in an email.
No, but like, alright, so here's my thing. First time, I don't know about writing a report. I also don't know about this whole like standard video for being a better player. All right, I'm not a fan of standard videos.
Thankfully, I've never seen it. I have.
No, but I'm just not a fan of standard videos because I don't feel like standard video is just how you fix things. It's just like, this person was a racist. Standard video. This person was bad. Standard video. Watch it again.
How can you do a training? How can you educate people?
I feel like you need an individual. Like if you put the buttons on the screen. Like, if you allow me to report them for feeding, because you have a button that says feeding, and I selected it, they should get a specialized feeding video. It should be like, this is how you don't feed.
Okay, so pretty much you want like a video or on like, every topic.
If it was like, yes, I feel like that is what's needed, because we live in a world where we try to cut, like, to me, that's like, there's someone who has a wound and they need stitches, and we gave them a Band-Aid. It's not the correct thing. Yes,
So,
it's still holding it and preventing the bleeding
basically-
somewhat, but it's not the best option available. If we
definitely-
have better options, let's give people better options.
I mean, okay, we live in a world where everything has to be explained.
Yes, so why not explain it in the game?
It makes sense. So yes, it does make sense because for the longest, I didn't know what trolling was.
See?
Until later.
You see what I'm saying?
So yeah, I'm like,
Not
what
only
is
that,
trolling?
like, let's look at, no,
What
but
is
like,
a fuckboy?
let's literally look at the world we live in. Every 5 seconds, there's a new word.
Yeah.
Or there's an abbreviation for a word. Like Among Us, first time I played it, people say sus. What the frick is sus? I didn't know.
Hey.
But
And
that
then
makes
someone goes,
sense.
suspect. And
That's
then I'm
why
like,
you have
oh.
sus.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's stuff in which there's so much change that occurs, and like for people who try to be on the cutting edge of games and all this other kind of stuff, like it takes some research. And don't get me wrong, I think it would be really dope and really easy if we just made it universal for all types of players. If that means that you're a player who's like hasn't played games since like 1962 and you want to pick up a game, let's do it.
World of gaming.
Let's make sure that that person who hasn't picked up a game since 1962, when they pick it up, they know what terminology I'm using.
No,
So when I call them sus, they can call me out and be like, I'm not being suspect. And I'll be like, oh, shoot. Grandpa, grandma, auntie, or uncle
but
knows that.
isn't that what the terms and conditions?
I mean, pretty much, I would like to see that from game developers to go ahead and have that extra effort to kind of, to let their community know, hey, what are they in violation for? How can they improve themselves as a player in the community?
But I think
let's do things to make our environment better, not just ban people and call it a day. I want to ban, but I want to ban with education, or I want to suspend with education.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that when they play another game, they don't just continue doing what they're doing and think it's a...
But then that's where I think that it should be on... Say, for instance, it should be... Not to put it all on them, but I should think it would come from the system. So even when you turn on, this is what happens. Because like you said, each different game...
The system can't... Right, but each
don't
different...
do it
right,
the same way.
Right, and that's why I'm saying it's on the game developer, not the system. Because the thing is, if you say it's on the system, then that means PlayStation has to come out with 64 million different videos. Because now... There's 64 different million games that have 13 different ways in which you can report, and they all do use different words. It should be on the developer themselves because the developer is the one that moderates their chats. PlayStation doesn't moderate your chats if you're chatting directly in-game.
Okay.
If you're talking directly in-game, they don't do that either.
But at the same time, think about it. If you just say...
I'm not saying the user. I'm saying the game developer.
I'm saying for the user. That is going to be using it. That's why I was like, maybe it should be tailored towards, the system itself, because you're also, if you're trolling on one game and you're starting to troll on another game, that doesn't really stop them in their tracks.
Well, I think on right now, currently, the systems have like a kind of combination thing. Like you can report somebody in the game, but you can also report them on the system.
Right.
And
it's just most people report in game because it's in game that this stuff is occurring. It's very rare. It's very rare. I'm gonna report a player outside the game.
You got an ID tag. You know what it is.
But we're gonna go on to the next subject. But I just want to end this subject with saying, if you are somebody that's going through bullying, you're never alone. Please reach out to your community, to your friends, or to even us. We would love to hear from you, no matter who you are, and nobody should ever game alone.
We didn't go over counterbullying.
Okay,
I'm done.
What?
You say counterbullying?
Take a shot.
No.
Take a shot now.
I'm gonna let them talk.
Wait, no. It may not be a joke. It may not be a joke. Go ahead.
It's not a talk. Don't go ahead.
Okay.
Let them talk.
Okay.
I'm gonna need this shot, but I'm letting you know now this isn't a joke.
Okay.
Okay, so in terms of counterbullying, and in regards of what's done to an individual, to you, what should anybody do about that? What should they do on a personal level to counter that? I know what I do on a personal level to counter that.
What do you do on a personal level to counter
What do
bullying?
you stop? How do you prevent?
How do you prevent bullying of yourself?
Okay, great. So, first, there's always de-escalation. There's a, hey, you know what? You're right, man, bro. I'm probably wrong. It's cool. It's whatever. Then if they escalate, well, then I also escalate.
I'm gonna end this.
We're gonna end what he's
I'm gonna end with this because we're not gonna encourage that. We're gonna encourage people to report.
What I would say is, I think that's the best.
I think
there's two ways to counter bullying. One is to report, do not engage, and the other one I think is to exit the situation as quickly as possible. That's the two that I feel like are the most effective, especially when we're talking about gaming. If we're talking about it in real life, I still suggest the same two things. I suggest report, and I suggest exit the situation as quickly as you can in a safe manner.
Right, and then there are some games that let you hide your profile.
And also, if we truly want to talk about things that the gamer can do, is look for friends or people that share your interests that that you can game with. That's somebody that that you can game with, and because y'all got each other's back or whatever.
Or you even use UGA's platform, send out a message in that platform, trying to recruit people in which you can then befriend, get to know, and then play games with them. So then it's not like you're just gaming directly with strangers. I know in COVID, like we're currently experiencing, for some people who have just realized it more recently than others, because they've been hospitalized more recently. I didn't say anything, man.
I mean, our president. That was so happened to happen.
That wasn't her.
Just because that
wasn't me. But no. But what I'm saying is, I do understand that because of the pandemic that's gone on, more people are getting online more than ever. More people are doing social distancing, so they're finding out ways in order to still communicate with friends and also making new friends. And one way they do it is through gaming. And what I would say is, just like in real life, sometimes you find a bad apple when you're trying to look for a fresh apple in a brand new orchard. And with that, all you can do is toss out the bad apple before it infects others and move on.
Yeah. Go ahead and say it. No, I wasn't gonna say it. No, I'm not gonna say it. No.
Go ahead and say it. Say it.
Or just take the shot because you know you were gonna say it.
Just say it, bro.
You and I both know that was gonna happen. Yeah.
Just say it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Yeah. Does anybody that honestly I really didn't care about it? A lot of people are talking about how Peter Parker looks a little bit different on his new Spider-Man than the old Spider-Man.
Yeah, I saw those images. That doesn't look like the same man. They really don't.
Then the Miles, what is that for the remastered?
Spider-Man PS4 but remastered for PS5 graphics.
He just looks a little younger. Honestly, he looks more like the Spider-Man that we see in the movies.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I mean, before he looked like kind of a '90s Spider-Man. Now this reminds me of Spider-Man from the MCU.
Exactly. Well, because the other thing that I want to know is so here's the thing. Right. They're saying that's the remastered edition for the PS5. There's also a rumor that Spider-Man's going to be in Avengers.
That's true.
Not rumored. It's actually been confirmed because it's literally on the box. It says Spider-Man, will be in there with the PlayStation edition. Spider-Man, as far as I'm aware, based off where I am in Avengers, and I'm on the last mission, he hasn't been introduced. So there is a potential, because it is made by some of the same developers, that they're messing with people, and that's actually not for the remastered edition of Spider-Man. That's for Avengers.
I'm down.
Like I talked to you about, they could be doing a crossover in video games.
That would be dope.
With the Spider-Man from the Spider-Man video game, and that's why they remastered him, and so then they can put him also in the Avengers. And then he'll have Avengers content both on Spider-Man and also in Avengers.
So an actual universe.
So
that would be insane.
So a consumer term, we'd have more DLC, both sides, and we get some more hours to play.
Yeah, and you'd have something that I've never seen happen before, which is a crossover in 2 active video games. Like, I've seen crossover, like Soul Calibur crossover, but I've never seen a crossover where your storyline actually is, like, plugged and, like, in another game.
And where it makes sense.
Yeah. That would be fire.
That's got to be a challenge for the writers, though.
Yeah, and I would completely accept that remastered edition of Spider-Man if that's the case.
And bought and sold.
So, let me ask y'all, what... Because I feel like on a lot of games, I feel like some games that are less shooting and more kind of like hand-to-hand battling, more hack and slash. I kind of feel like hack and slash gets criticized more versus like... Because you take like a game like Destiny, right? Destiny is all shooting. And you have the sword play, but it's like heavy weapons and whatever. But then take a game like Marvel Heroes or whatever, and people say, it's more, Marvel Avengers, and they say it's more repetitive because it's more, physical.
It's the exact same as Destiny.
No, but Destiny is like you have a gun and you like.
No, but it's the exact same as Destiny.
So
I understand.
Yeah. So wait,
but like last time I checked, you have to play certain Destiny levels like 3 to 4 different times. In Avengers, you also play the same level maybe 3 or 4 different times. The difference is you may be on the same level doing a different... Like, in all reality, Avengers has maybe actually 7 levels. But they have 30 different missions that occur in those 7 levels. Why I say that is because their levels are fully expansive. Meaning, you could be in... the level has 3 different locations... And in one mission, you're supposed to go to the second location instead of the first. Well, in the 5th mission, you go to the first location instead of the second. Well, that's how it works. One, that's how Destiny works. Same thing, same concept. The one difference I will say is that, at least for me, because I haven't played Destiny in a little while, I'm not saying anything against Destiny, but the thing is, your chests are still there even when you're playing, and you're supposed to go to the first location, whereas last time you went to the second, the chest locations are still the same. So you still have to fight a group horde of enemies. They're different enemies, different power structure, but you still have to fight. You're still fighting those enemies in order to get those chests. But those chests are still in the same location.
And sometimes they're still looted.
Hard, difficult, medium.
They're only... No, that's what's cool about Avengers, is that they're not looted by other people. It's like you go there and it's a fresh chest.
Okay, that happened to me while I played Destiny, and that's what made me get bored or whatever.
I understand, because someone else took your chest. No, each person has their own chest. Even when you play on multiplayer,
you still get
one player gets their chest, you get a chest. Also, same thing with resources. The resources are divided equally amongst you all. Unlike Destiny, or some other games where whoever gets there first is the one who gets the treasure.
Or like any topics?
I don't have a topic, but I got a question.
What's the question?
How'd the president get COVID? He wasn't wearing a mask.
Oh my goodness.
Take your shot. No, for real.
Okay, so this is going to be an obvious question, but I'm still ask it. What are we going to do about pre-ordering Cyberpunk 2077? Now, I
already pre-ordered Cyberpunk 2077.
For those of us who have not, because there seems to be a lot of, how to put it, shortages when it comes to the gaming industry. Okay. Shortages of CPU, shortages of graphics cards. What happens if there's a shortage in
Here's what I said.
Wait, before you answer.
Me personally, I almost never buy digitally if I don't have to.
To me, it's just going by who you trust. To me, yes, when it comes to pre-ordering, when it comes to pre-ordering games, that's why me personally, I lean towards this pre-ordering it digitally from my Xbox or PlayStation, because I know it's just going to download whenever it's up. But it's really just goes back to who do you trust to buy your games from or whatever. Traditionally, I had a good experience with Best Buy. Traditionally, GameStop has sometimes been great, sometimes failed me.
It's a mix.
And it's like you never know what you're gonna get. So it's really just to me, it's up to your personal experience. I know. I'm feeling. There's certain companies that make me more confident. Like Amazon, like when the more Amazon gets into the gaming industry and stuff
absolutely, possibly.
Like, I'm feeling like way more confident just buy all my stuff through Amazon because now it's like, oh, you got Twitch Prime. Oh, now you got the Twitch, the gaming streaming service or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you always been that retailer that I could just get it delivered with Prime and next day. So it's like now. Is developer or retailers like that are making me want to trust
I wanted a cotton candy machine. They told me it was going to take 3 weeks.
It wasn't meant to be.
Exactly, it wasn't. But I mean, once again, Best Buy, if you want to sponsor this, that would be greatly appreciated. Because man, like, here's the one thing I have to say. One, there's been a huge thing in gaming whenever it came to pre-orders, and people have talked trash on pre-orders for the longest time period. Because they've said whenever you pre-order the game, it's literally giving these people reasons and excuses in order to make microtransactions, DLCs, all this extra stuff, and what you have to pay for. Well, to those people, I have to say, I pre-ordered it and I'm getting my copy. So,
Oh, boy.
No. But yeah, I completely agree with you. You have to go with a retailer that you trust. For me, it's Best Buy. I like the one time period in which I've ever seen, and this is not an experience I had, but I saw someone have this experience where they sold out of their copy. They explained to them that they sold out of their copy. They could give them a standard edition right then and there, but they also explained that as far as a premium copy, you're going to have one on order and told me the exact date that it was going to come in. Now, in my experience where it's been with GameStop, where I've ordered a deluxe edition game or even a regular edition game, and GameStop's been sold out, I get told, okay, great, have a great day, and we'll contact you whenever it comes in, or we could just refund your money.
It's like...
And it's like, what? And it's not even like, we can get you the standard edition and give you a discount. No, there's no discount.
Or you can wait longer so you can,
No, it's just, we'll contact you when we contact you.
We'll contact you when we contact you.
Have a great day. And on that time period when I was supposed to be contacted, I was never contacted. That's the reason why I'm salty.
We'll call you.
Justified.
And that's the reason why I switched. But with Best Buy so far, knock on wood, everything's been gravy. Now, Best Buy, I have a lot of crap pre-ordered from you right now. I have an Xbox One X, I have a PS5, and I also have Cyberpunk 2077, on top of some other things. So yeah, please, do not play games.
I have a PlayStation 5 paid off, so...
No, literally, paid for.
So Best Buy, you gotta give me my stuff.
No.
But anyway, on to different subjects.
No,
okay.
but like in all reality, so far, no complaints with Best Buy. Honestly, that's the place where I get the majority of my games and also consoles from, because of the experience that I've had from them. The fact that every single time period it's launch day, I haven't had an issue getting my copy or getting something like that. Now, granted, have I had to wait? Yeah, because I got long lines. But, life. You can get it fast, cheap, or time, money, or done right. You can't get all three at the exact same time. Like, I'm sure everybody's been told that before, right? So you got to pick your one out of three. I get it done right, and I get it done on time. It doesn't mean necessarily that I'm able to get the best deals in the entire world or anything like that, but it's just meant that I'm able to get what I pre-order.
So I got a question. So for those of y'all that's watching that you don't know, Inuyasha is back with a sequel.
That was actually my actual topic.
So and my whole thing is, but a lot of people are kind of disappointed only because the animation has changed.
Well, of course.
But if fans of the series, the animation of this new spinoff or sequel looks more like the manga and not the original anime. So, but from watching it, for me, it to me still feels like the same Inuyasha. So I gotta ask, how do y'all feel? How much do y'all feel animation, the style of animation, plays a part in liking an anime, or does it take if something is more 3D or more kiddish, does that make you turn off?
I think it has a big to do with, like, because you can tell the difference from season to season to season, or you can tell if they just recreated a whole thing. Yes. Same thing with She-Ra. They had a whole issue with that. So, yeah, I think it has big to do with what's going on now. Because, like, even, yeah, I'm a fan, all this good stuff. I didn't start off with the manga, but, you know, if you're watching this on Hulu to watch all the seasons, just letting you know. So, because I'm rewatching. But it does have a big to-do. I think some of it just kind of seem off. I'm going to still keep watching because of the fandom about it. But it kind of throws you off because it's like, like some people, you know, especially like when they have like, oh, this character is 15 and they're like, you look 35 to me. It does change, and it helps a lot with bringing new people in though. So I think they're trying to capture some of them people. That's all I can say.
I think that people need to realize, although it's a continuation from an old story, it's a new story.
It is a new story.
I mean,
it's a new story. It's also 10 years later.
I get
Sebastian.
you.
But
I'm just gonna say this.
From like the original creation date. Like, it's not like, for instance.
So was Boruto.
No,
Boruto
was
is
not.
something.
When Boruto got made into an anime, literally Naruto Shippuden ended, and it was like a year afterwards.
Well,
you're picking up where you left off.
The only reason why I was gonna bring up Boruto is because to me, like, Naruto Shippuden animation had a certain intensity about it.
Correct.
When it came to Boruto, it was disappointing because
it's slightly different.
It didn't seem to have that same intensity. Granted, I am not as far as I should be in Boruto.
That's because his child is a lax individual in Boruto. And he's one who does not have a resolve.
So
it's not the same as his dad.
For hundreds of episodes.
So I can see how some people can say that
he's a fair weather resolver.
I can see how some people can say, like,
no, he's just a fair weather resolver. Like, he picks up that resolve when he feels like it and puts it down.
I can see
Naruto just like Naruto lost to Sasuke, so he just kind of hang on to the resolve. Boruto, you know, he lost somebody, but it was only for like 30 episodes.
Oh boy. I can see how the animation can make things kind of make you get things more serious and make things more.
No, I 100% agree that animation is important. That's not my point in this. I think we're just picking up the wrong bandwagon. I feel like this bandwagon was something that should have been picked up when they changed the drawing in American Dragon Jake Long. Okay?
Oh my god!
I was thinking
that's what we should have done. Because that animation, when it first came out, was fire. No, it was fire. When it first came out, straight fire. Then they redid the animation. What?
Change the art style.
You changed the art style completely. He went from being like this kind of like muscular type of dragon, you know, to this like scrawny thing that ain't even got wings, bro.
Okay.
He didn't even have wings anymore. They took his wings. Okay. And you know what? He's still got 3 seasons.
So let me ask you, how do you feel about like, cause like, what do you think is gonna take for like more 3D animation to get popular, like Knights of Sidonia, like in like some of the Chinese anime that has.
So it would be nice if they had one achieve the same popularity as any anime that's 2D, and 2 actually finish.
Well, one, a lot of those that are picked up, I call them like cult projects. The only reason why I call them cult projects is because normally they start off with like with a brand or industry that's not like widely known. Like, for instance, I haven't seen Shonen Jump just like be like, oh, we're gonna pick up just 3D animations. You know what I mean? And make one single anime just in 3D animations. The other thing I will say is, no one can tell me that 3D animations look nearly as smooth as regular animation style.
The combat, I think, is still working.
Hang on a second.
Name one.
What's the best combat of 3D animation have you seen?
Name one. And I'm not talking about combination, because there's one that I know of which is getting a 2nd season, which I understand was kind of iffy in your eyes. And it's the one with the dude with the eye patch who like
That's in the second season?
It's getting the second season.
Okay, man, maybe I can tell me back, right?
Yeah.
No. You know what? I'm glad I got a second season.
No, but it's...
You deserve that just like I deserve World Trigger. Continue.
No,
World Trigger does not deserve the next season. I'm sorry. It doesn't take 60 episodes.
But the other reason I'm happy that one's getting a second season is because that one I think is where anime is going to go. What they're trying to do is something different. They're incorporating both computer animation and also hand-drawn animation. In their fight scenes with a lot of their villains, they were computer generated, not like hand-drawn. Whereas like a lot of the characters through their regular motions were hand-drawn. So I think that's more of where we may be headed, is doing a little bit of a combo. I don't think computer animation can hold on its own because as of right now, it's still too choppy. It's not smooth. It's nowhere near as smooth. If I just, well, not me, but an actual drawer drew it out.
Alright.
Don't get me wrong.
I mean,
would it have been cool if Naruto had a computer like generated Rasengan? Probably, because it got more colors than just those, like 64.
The blue, white.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine
yellow.
that. But imagine something like that, computer generated.
No, that would be dope.
That's what I'm saying. Like, computer animation, it has certain things in advance whenever it comes to, like, color schemes and stuff like that. They're able to do way more pigments than we can do by hand. So in those aspects, absolutely. So whenever it comes to, like, fireball flames and all this other kind of stuff being shot out, whenever that's done via computer animation, that looks astounding. But the actual character movement is not there.
No. And more, why do we keep getting these second characters?
Because there's like 16 million 5-year-olds who will be like, buy it!
And you're going to pay how many dollars?
I never said I'm going to pay. I said there's like these 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 who are crazy about Minecraft. Minecraft is still one of the top games in any app store. Your niece
especially.
In any app store.
Yeah, okay, it is, but I just don't think that should have ever been a Smash Brothers character.
I don't think it should have... Look, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say it should never be a Smash Brothers character.
No.
I'm not going to go that far.
No.
I'm just going to say there's 16 million other different characters you could have picked for a DLC other than a Minecraft character.
Could have thrown in like the main character from Astral Chain since we're just pulling from Nintendo titles all the time.
You could actually, it would have been cool if they put Tony Hawk and he used his board to hit people. But anyway.
There's like no, but I'm talking about things. Right, but I'm talking about things that they have license for. But I mean, since they did put Minecraft, and Minecraft's not an exclusive of Nintendo that they produce, you're absolutely correct. They could have done that. They could have also teamed up with the people who make Soul Cal and literally put any Soul Cal character in there.
No, I mean they could have done a lot.
They could have done a million and one.
Yeah.
More Tekken. They don't even have a single Tekken character.
I'm saying they could have done that.
They could do anything.
To me, the character, lacked creativity.
Absolutely. They could have given him the ability to build a wall. Can he build a wall?
Well, I mean,
can he break stages?
Or that dig a hole. That would have been cool.
It would have been cool if he could break stages.
But he can't break the stage.
He can't break the stage? It would be really cool if he could break the stage.
And then, like, his whole thing is, like, create a world. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you could put him in a world.
Like, if he could add on to your stage...
And he has a whole new platform or something.
Yeah.
And then actually, if he has to fall off or anything, he can make his own little stage off that.
No.
That would be cool. But cheating. But
that's
cool.
too much.
But hopefully the next Smash Brothers DLC character would be a little bit better.
What do you mean? It's probably just going to be another Minecraft character.
Stop it.
Well, people say it's supposed to be the main guy from Ninja Gaiden, but we'll see. I like to see it.
They already put my girl Bandetta in there. I'm good.
She was in there from the start.
Yeah,
she should.
I need.
She's awesome.
Final Fantasy. 7.
You know what?
And
that's the first thing you said. I'm like, yeah.
Nah, and they put clouds on.
Nah,
I'm really good.
That would be cool. Like, see, my thing is, I feel like what they really need to do is they just need to. If you're really running out of characters, which this Minecraft seems like you're running out of character ideas, or if you just want someone else to code your player into the game.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's
is Rayman in there?
I mean, how do you feel, Gerald? Do you feel like at this point the game developers are just
Spyro.
getting ready to end this Smash Brothers and maybe working on a new project, or like
they've already announced that they're not coming out with another Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but see, but that makes it kind of scary though, because
why?
As a fan, like
we've never lived in a world where Smash Brothers didn't exist.
No, you have.
It still exists. It's called DLCs, bro.
They said they're cutting. This is the last DLC pack.
Me personally, yeah, it's disappointing because
okay, but if that's the case, then where do you see room for growth besides adding characters? And
you could keep adding more characters or whatever. I think adding more characters kind of brings it fresh in life. Also, they can add more to the combat system. They could go back and rework some characters. That's what I would like to see. Some characters I feel is either way too broken or way too easy, or in some of the older characters, like for example, Ice Climbers are. I feel like their power level compared to everybody else is like not on the same page. That's something that I would like them to see. The problem, or the reason why it's scary for them not to be releasing DLC, because normally that means they're going to not patch a game or not update a game, and to me, yes, it's hard for a game to continue to be competitive if it's not, continue to be updated, continue to be patched, continue to change the meta. Because again, in a lot of competitive games, what ends up happening is that certain characters tend to be like the top picks because it's easy to do the strongest moves or whatever, or they have a slight advantage or whatever. So to me, it's just the only reason why I'm fearful of that is of when I hear a game's not getting new DLC is because honestly, truthfully, I'm worried about the future of the game. Are they going to continue to patch this game? Are they going to continue to support this game? What's going to happen? Stuff like that.
I mean, they could also come back.
If Bandai said they wasn't going to update Soul Calibur, as much as I'm a fan of the game, that would kind of kill the game for me. Like, don't get me wrong, Soul Cal is not as popular as Tekken or some of the other games, but it's refreshing to come back to the game and find it better. Like just playing with friends and I pop back in, some of the improvements that they made just as people played the game of the mechanics. People complain about it being too slow, so now it's more fluid and smooth. I like to see that in the game. I like to see that continued support.
But I don't feel like they're gonna stop editing or, updating a game or a system. It's just, it's not going to get as much, but I think they could also focus on other stuff like Mario Kart. They could add some more characters to that.
Yeah, but he's not in charge of that project.
Right, but no, Mario Kart, that's a completely different thing. Mario Kart is literally, right, but Mario Kart's literally reserved and the reason they call it Mario Kart is because it's literally reserved for Mario's world.
There's other stuff that I wouldn't want to use.
What would you want to use? There's a lot in Mario Kart.
The guy with the nose and okay, whatever. There's other stuff they can do. They can make it Mario World Kart or something like that. And
there's a lot of characters in Mario Kart already.
I'm saying for other games.
They've tried that. There's other games that have tried to implement the same strategy of Mario Kart and been nowhere near as popular.
Yeah.
The funny part is, what no one remembers is Crash Team Racing.
Yeah. Or even Sonic Racers.
Right, or Sonic Racers. I just talk about Crash Team Racers because that's the first one that came out after Mario Kart.
See, this I know y'all probably trying to be the cool kids around school. Because see, anybody who actually knows about some good racing games, you would have mentioned Jack Combat Racing.
Okay.
No, anyway, that wasn't the point that we were trying to make at all. So let's move on. Because if we're trying to name actual racing games, then we can go back to ones that started it all. Like Need for Speed, back when they first came out.
Anyway, anybody got any other topics before we get out of here?
That to me, don't you?
What? You try to play people, and I just look
I
at you.
did try to play you.
Wait, does that count?
Let me play you.
Does that count?
No, I'm not a.
Yeah, it
I'm not a
counts.
player in a game
So you need
for you to
another
play.
shot.
Apparently.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna get another shot. But anyway, and you know, the more I keep saying shot, the more I have to edit. Anyway, so anybody got any other topics before we get out of here?
Just edit yourself saying water.
Water. No, that's even harder work because we don't have the equipment to mark every time that I need to edit something. So if we had the equipment for that and a person that could be my second hand and be like, but anyway,
That was a shot.
why was that a shot?
You know it was.
That was a shot.
The way you said it.
That was a shot.
That was a shot to multiple people. That was a shot.
Yeah,
Anyway.
It was. All you did was reload afterwards. That's all.
Anyway, okay, it is that time for picks of the week.
I like how once again he was like, "Oh, it was a shot. Oh, then it was targeted at multiple people."
Anyway,
Betty.
so picks of the week. If you don't know what it is, it's picks of the week is any game, movie, TV show, music, anything that we think you should be paying attention to this week. So first off, let's start off with the birthday boy himself, Ballwick or Jarrell. What is your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is going to be The Man in High Castle.
What is it?
It's this. The way you look at me every time I say that makes me want to just stop. But I'm gonna keep talking while looking you in the eyes.
Do it.
We're gonna keep doing this for a while, by the way.
That's
All
weird.
right. So I like it that way. Anyways, so Man in High Castle is the
You like it
show
weird?
that I do like it weird actually.
How weird do you go?
Like there's really a scale for it because the scale for itself would be kind of weird. I would just have to tell you about it.
Don't really want to hear about how weird.
Exactly. See?
I'm guessing it's BDSM related.
Oh. Well, that's a different kind of weird. But anyway,
Ladies,
so about the Man in High
Ladies,
Castle.
yes, and his name is Jarrell. Evidently, he has a few different types of weird that he is up for.
There's weird that I'm aware of, and there's weird that I participate in. What?
Once again,
But
ladies,
it's
his
Castle.
name is Jarrell, and he is single.
All right. So, anyways, about this show. Okay, it's a series on Amazon's video service, and basically the whole thing about the series is that it takes place in the '60s. This is after World War II, but there's a twist. This is what the world looks like if the Allies lose World War II. It sort of takes place in the instance of a what-if scenario, and there is a character that is referenced to as the Man in High Castle because this character, through unknown means, since I haven't finished it, I'm still on season 1, episode 8. Through unknown means, is able to produce or acquire these films that are on film reels, because that's what they used back then, that show history of instead our own world, a world in which we won World War II and how we were able to do so. And the powers that be, since with Nazi Germany having taken over America and Japan also ruling the western side of America as a territory, both sides trying to figure out who this man is and who this man, or if it's a man at all, and trying to stop them, while also crushing the resistance movement that this person has inspired. The main character of the show, what's her name, Juliana? Yeah. Goes on this journey to find out why her sister was murdered in the very first episode, because her sister herself was carrying one of these films and she was killed for it.
Well, that sounds dope. And where can people find it again?
It's available on Prime Video.
My one question that I have is, does it involve time travel?
No.
Or do you?
Or that, not that you know of.
Not that I know of.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
In total, there
They
are currently 4 seasons.
Okay, because if they haven't said anything that time travel does not exist, then I find that show flawed.
Ty,
I'm disproving it.
what is your pick of the week?
So definitely my pick of the week, or picks, because I always pick through somehow. I like Among Us. I found out late in the game about it, but I really like it. And then also, I'm rewatching Inuyasha. It is on Hulu. Watch it again. Thank you.
Oh boy. Decimo Primo, what's your pick of the week?
My pick of the week is going to be: Is it wrong to pick up girls in dungeons?
Yes.
Is there a reason in particular you're mentioning that?
Yes, because season 3 dropped.
Oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah, season 3 dropped. First episode's out. They've already, like, from the first episode of the 3rd season, they've already expanded the world so much that there aren't really words to... Actually, you know what? F it. So, is it wrong to pick up girls in dungeons? Clearly, it's talking about dungeons, right? So that means you go into a dungeon. In the dungeon, you do what? You fight monsters. Well, guess what? They found a monster that can talk!
Okay.
Come to find out, it's a whole conspiracy or something or other. I have no idea, because they haven't explained anything, really.
And
there was just this monster that could talk. They show some high-up people who you have no idea who they are, talking about how they know, now people know about monsters that can talk. And evidently, it's been a thing the whole time.
And this is an anime, right?
Yes.
On Crunchyroll?
Yes.
Okay.
Start from season 1. Actually, season 1 starts off with a completely different premise.
Isn't it also on Netflix?
It is on Netflix. Just season 1 is on Netflix, though. Not season 2 or season 3, because season 2 just came out.
Netflix needs to
So
get better
since
with
the
that.
creature, since some of the creatures or a creature is sentient, does that make monster hunting like a hate crime or something?
Possibly. We
That
don't
means
know.
they're sentient
We're going to find
now?
out 3rd season.
Alright.
That's what 3rd season may or may not be about. I don't know anymore. Because Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeons started off with a very simple premise. A boy who wanted to get strong for a girl. That is the premise of Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeons. That is what he was all about. And in one season, that transformed from him wanting to be strong for a girl to him and his primary goal, which I'm not going to say, which was inspired by what? His grandfather.
So I'm gonna go back.
All of these things are important nuggets that I'm dropping, but you will have no idea why until you actually watch it. So I
Spoiler
recommend
alert.
that you watch. No, it's
I mean, it's
the
kind of
only
things
the
that
only-
I
yeah, like literally the only thing I spoiled is like the first thing that happens within the first 5 minutes of season 3, episode 1. I talked about a boy who's in love with a girl, which is half the premise for it, half the anime that people watch.
The title.
And the title, which is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in Dungeons? Which really, you have no idea why that title exists.
Oh, boy.
Unless you watch the anime. So watch the anime, because it's dope, and magical things happen, because it's a magical world. Oops, I guess that could be considered a spoiler, but it's also not, because, once again, you find out that it's a magical world in the first 5 minutes.
Oh boy.
Dang, all that description was like spoiler free, almost like he's COVID free. Am I right?
Unlike some people.
Yeah, unlike some people, it's real unfortunate for them.
I'm gonna get to you later. Okay.
What, man? We take COVID very seriously at this table. You can all see, well, we're 6 feet apart. I don't know about that. But we're
We
taking
have
COVID
separate
very
nights.
serious right now because they've been talking about this second wave for a while. And we've been sitting here and we've been going through and I know a lot of people are tired of it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of them. I'm tired of hearing about COVID. I'm tired of wearing masks. But you know what? I'm gonna continue wearing my mask. I'm gonna continue to sanitize my hands because I don't want to risk getting COVID.
Yeah.
I kind of like wearing my mask, I'm not gonna lie.
My pick of the week. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with a mobile game.
I can't resist. Sorry. This man just said that he likes wearing a mask. And he's already admitted that he's into some weird stuff. So, once again, ladies, this man's name is Jarrell. And he is recently 24 years old.
Yes, recently.
You can. Where can they find you? What's your gamer tag? Shout that out for them. Let them find you.
They can find me out on Twitch at Ballwick. Spelled exactly how it's
I thought it was
Spell that out. Spell that out. Spell that out.
Alright, so you start off with a B.
I'm done.
Then
It's
you
meant
go
sense.
to the I, to the L, to the I, to the W, back to the I, to the C, to the K. It's just that simple.
And that's it. It's just Ballwick?
Yeah, it's just that simple.
Okay. It's just that
That's
simple. As he said, he's into some weird stuff, and he doesn't mind wearing a mask.
Anyway, for my pick of the week this time, I'm gonna go with. I am gonna go with